Okay, I'm sorry about that. Blew your eardrums out. The problem with this game, one of the few issues it does have, is that the sound resets every time you start the game. So I actually I went and changed the sound before I started the stream. I actually adjusted it, so it would be a little bit more easier on my ears. But as soon as I exited the game, it went and reset the sound. So unfortunately, every time you start the game, you do need to do that. It's not the only game that does it, but just something to be aware of. So this game is a Livber Smoke and Mirrors. Now I have to offer a huge apology to the developer. I was actually going through my old correspondence, and I found that I actually missed covering this game. And it's a huge mistake on my part. It happened during the last Steam Fest, and there was so many games. I got inundated, and somewhere along the line, this one dropped off my list. Not because of a lack of quality, but because it's a visual novel, and I tend to try and slot visual novels in between other games because I know that they can take a fair bit of time to showcase. But in any case, I found this and I moved it to the top of my list. I do hope the developer does accept my apology. I'm sorry. It does happen. Unfortunately, I get so many games sometimes. I literally have a database of all the games I get, and yeah, unfortunately, they do drop sometimes between the cracks. So. This game is a very, very good visual novel. It has some influence with Lovecraftian horror, and I really, really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, it's been a while since I played it, so it looks like my saves have disappeared. So I'm going to start a new game, but this game, you do have to play it from the beginning to understand it. It's got a very branching narrative. So we're going to play a little bit of the campaign, and I'm going to show you why you should check this one out. I know the visual novels aren't everyone's cup of tea, but occasionally I get to be self-indulgent and play one of these. So we're going to jump in and have a bit of a look. I see her in my dreams, her and the house on the edge of the cliff. Everything changed after reading that letter, the one bearing her name, my old love, Lilith. 5 years ago on a dark night, they took her from that house, executed her for black alchemy. I was the one who turned her in. But now she's calling me back to the house, wants to bury her breath in my sins. But how? That's what I have to find out. Act 1. Welcome home, my love. Far past the Hook Haven, which is woven by the grounded ships of Livber, there's a whirlwind roaring in the east. You don't see it, you don't hear it, yet you know the power it holds, enough to alter all of Gaia. A womb for gales to blow out of. But you come here, you wait, standing in the heart of twilight, silently eyes shut. 5 years later, once again you stand at the door to this house, a letter clutched in your hand. Okay, let's read the letter. The raindrops fall on the paper, landing with soft patters. You grip the letter tightly in both hands, keeping it from being blown away by the wind. The silvery moonlight, trapped beneath the clouds, shimmers across the ink spilled from a woman's hand. You read the lines again and again and again. My love. If you're reading these lines, it means there's something inside your heart that belongs to me. As I've always told you, death is far too ordinary a thing to keep us apart. I will give birth to our creation in our home, beneath the place we once shared. You must be with me, inside me. Higgity, because our creation cannot be left undone. Turn back, pass through the dark, complete us. We were always meant to be one, and we still can, my love. As long as you have the courage, as long as you do not fear. I'm waiting for you in the Neverall. Lilith. Could this really be true? Lilith, is she truly alive? You want it to be true, don't you? You want to hear that Lilith, the woman you left dead for 5 years ago, still lives. You long to feel her love again. Yet there's a question that won't let go of your mind. If she truly lives, how much of her is still her? Does this even matter? The question unanswered keeps growing in your mind. Your gaze drifts into the distance as the answers might lie out there. For a moment, the clouds part and the moon's silver light spills across the sea. Each and every shimmer scatters into 1,000 fragments, but you remain still, all of your limbs stiff with waiting, standing before the door of the house perched on the cliff, beaten by the waves. Why here? Why would Lilith call me here? Now, obviously, based on what you reply and your thought process, that will determine the direction of the game. You know, will you trust Lilith? Do you question, or do you go along with what she said? Now, the last time I played this, I actually got the bad ending. I don't want to give too much away, but I was a little bit too cooperative and I didn't ask enough questions. So it's probably a good time to restart the game, and this time I'm going to do the opposite of what I did. When I play any visual novel, I usually go for the bad ending first, and then I go for the good ending second. So this time we're going to try and do the good ending. Why would she call me here? This is where the two of you began. The wooden house on the cliffs by Livber's shore. This is where you first held each other. Your first night, your first love, and your first lies, all buried here. This two-story hovel, raised upon your memories. I can still leave, it's not too late for anything. Yes, but you won't. The trembling letter in your hand is proof of that. You see the simple village buried beneath Livber's shore. You open the door to the shack standing there, where you stand now. That easy. Let's hang on to the letter for now. You carefully fold the soaked paper so it won't tear under the rain. As you tuck it in your coat inner pocket, a strange sense of relief washes over you. The letter is where it belongs. You must keep going. You shouldn't stand in the rain any longer. Okay, let's open the door. I'm not going to let her know I'm coming in yet. Meow. Just as your hand reaches the door, you hear Yell's voice from beyond the threshold. The winged Bactacuti, who never truly leaves you and never truly belongs to you. Her white fur glows as if soaked in light, not rain. She spreads her wings and leaps swiftly towards you. Landing at your feet, she shakes the droplets from her coat. Then she sits back on her hind legs, tilted, amber eyes watching you with curiosity. Do you know what's waiting for me in there, my friend? Well, let's try and pat her. Oh, I got a achievement for patting the cat. Always got to be nice to kitties. Yell gently brushes her head against your feet. Then she stops before the door. She looks at it. With a soft stroke, she traces the door frame with her paw. Then she turns her amber eyes to you. I hope you'll still be here when I return, my friend. That is a really cute cat. The wind falls silent for a moment. You hear the waves of the sea easing in the distance. Far away, the flash of lightning strike blinds you. Its thunder never reaches your ears. The raindrops hang, weightless in midair. Yell glances at you one more time and spreads her wings, then leaps into the shadows beneath the rocks. Your fate embraces you. The door creaks open, but even you don't know what you hope to see, do you? The guilt has chased you all the way here, and at last your sins have caught you. I'm ready to face my past. You wish you were. As you crack the door open, the air brushing against your face is stale and musty. The sweetness of tall flowers mixes with the scent of something burnt. It pulls you back to the festival day, the moment you first met Lilith, and then you see her, standing beneath the dim light, like she's been torn from the heart of the house. You lose your breath. A chill crawls up your spine and you freeze. It takes you a moment to realize your knees are trembling. Whether from fear or excitement you can't tell, a whisper slips from your lips. Lilith. She doesn't see you, bent slightly over the table trying to light a candle just as you remember her. The ghost of your past, your greatest lie and sin. Is this really Lilith? You stare stunned at the woman who stands before you. She should be dead. Her hair no longer shines like it did on festival night. Reddish-brown strands fall over her shoulder like wet stream. Her skin is sallow, a ghost-like paleness. And her eyes, the moment she turns her head and you meet them, another hollow question slips from your lips. How? The festival night. A warm breeze carries the city's aroma far away. You two slip away from the crowded streets. The early black-crimson glow wraps Lilith's hair like a fiery halo. The noise of celebration fades behind you. Right there you hand Lilith a bouquet of white talleth flowers. She looks deep into your eyes. She smiles. Tossing her hair back, she asks the same question. White talleth flowers, how did you find these? There's nothing I couldn't find for you. A beautiful lie told so well even you believed it yourself. My love, she looks at you, about to say something. A pained smile touches her lips. The silence hangs between you. You finally come. You're alive. How could this be? I assumed you read the letter, my love. Death is far too ordinary a thing to separate us. When you left me that night, I left the boundaries of my body. Isn't that what we always sought in the end? Why did you call me here? To see you again, my love. We cannot live apart. We're two halves of one whole. And tonight we'll finish what was left unfinished the night you abandoned me to my death. Come, sit. She seems to be taking the fact that I got her killed very well. As a flame candle flickers, you see a brief shadow of hatred flash across Lilith's face, as if beneath her skin another face is waiting. No, I won't sit before you give me an answer. Is it really you? Lilith slowly approaches. You now see her eyes more clearly than ever. Something writhes beneath her gaze. Her body leans towards you, getting closer. You feel a sweet aroma rising from her skin, her warm breath brushing against you. You truly do not recognize me. This is just a game. All of this has to be an illusion. An illusion. Her smile spreads across her face. If only it were, my love. Then perhaps I'd wake up the night you left me. But here you are, so shall we eat? I really put in work to make tonight perfect. I wanted to make certain things would be flawless for our reunion. After you left me to rot, it's been... She pauses for a moment, looking out the window where the moonlight falls. You thought I should have died. I know you did. After I made you that offer, after I told you we were to become one, our souls, my love, we had to piece our souls together and bind them with the alchemy ritual. You expect me to pay the price for your madness, Lilith. I said no, because you decided to destroy me. I had to make a choice. Her hand holding the fork freezes in midair. As the silence stretches, Lilith's breathing deepens. I hate that name, it's so hard to pronounce. Lilith. Haha. My madness, I offered you love, only love. A love so deep that even death couldn't end it, but you were afraid. But afraid to be with me beyond Neverall. You betrayed me. Don't you think I wouldn't know when I told you about the black alchemy ritual, when I spoke of piecing our souls together to crown our love? You saw my blood, heard my screams, you saw me vanish into the dark of the waters. She turns her face towards you and it darkens with hatred, with rage, with something darker and with something I cannot name. Her skin ripples as if a 100 tiny things move beneath it. You can't tell if it's real or just the candle flickering. Then, just as quickly as it came, the moment passes, Lilith slowly leans back. Love means something different to you. You don't love me, you want to own me. It breaks my heart that you believe it could be that simple, my love. You don't understand. I never wanted to own you. Never did. The wooden walls of the house groan under the assault of the rain. Driven harder by the wind, the sea crashes against the cliff, then pulls back into itself in a hiss of white foam. Darkness spreads ever outward beyond the horizon. For a fleeting moment you wish you were out there, on the deck of a ship bound for somewhere you cannot see. Too little, too late. Your madness will break both of us, Lilith. It already has, my love, just like those paintings you love so much. It's not my madness, it's your cowardice. Nothing more than a diseased reflection of faded memories in your mind. Like this place, like me, like you. Go on, eat. Pork meat. I cooked it just the way you like. It wasn't easy, but it melts slowly on the tongue. When the fat coats the roof of your mouth and slips beneath your tongue, you'll taste the herbs. Pork meat? You've completely lost it. After the festival, when we first met. Oh, it's a unicorn. She killed it. Oh man, that's not good. I missed that the first time I played the game. She actually killed a unicorn. After the festival, when we first met, the first night when you told me you loved me, we saw a porth. It was magnificent. Its mane was long and beautiful. You remember, don't you, my love? Afterward, we went to get something to eat. I couldn't stop thinking about it. You were mesmerized by that creature. You kept going on about how beautiful it was, how bright its mane shone, how proud it stood. Do you think I could tolerate that, my love? Oh, yeah, she's a sociopath. That first night we met, we didn't eat anything in Lilith. No, she slams her hand on the table. Her face contorts with rage. Her eyes wide and unblinking. No, 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 that's exactly what we ate. You told me how much you loved me, how we'd never be apart. Yeah, I don't think my character would have willingly murdered a unicorn and ate its meat. I told you I'd never leave you. I answered this last time. I'm going to take a different route. That's what you said, isn't it? I remember how your mother looked at me the first time we met. Like I was a disgusting insect, or worse, a Bacter. If I wasn't born a noble Incarnate, I was nothing to her. And you didn't stand by me. Lilith doesn't take her eyes off you. Every motion she makes to cut the pork meat with her fork shakes her entire body. Her head tilts slightly, the candlelight slipping through her crimson hair. Silky strands swing gently back and forth. Your gaze shifts downward. You realise she's not slicing the meat on her plate, but pressing the blade into her own forefinger with all her strength, blood mixing with the meat below. Lilith, your thumb, what are you doing? My love, it was sweet of you to worry about me. It was a moment of distraction, that's all. When you're here, everything else disappears. All my worries, my fears, my pain. This is the price of loving you. She quickly wraps her thumb in a scrap of parchment that fallen to the floor. For a moment she stares at the porcelain plate, watching blood pool over the meat. Then she stabs her fork into the meat and lifts it into her mouth. Her eyes close as she chews, as if savouring something profound. Are you okay? What did you say? Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's just I never told you how my mother died. She was addicted to doping. What, doping as in like dope? Just chasing the dragon? That probably makes a bit of sense. Some said she was obsessed, but I never wanted to believe that. I must have been 7 when she had her final episode. Her stash was empty, so she thought she could drink what remained in her own blood. When they found her, she drowned in herself. Tragic. Though I used to think it was funny, now I understand why she did it. You thought it was funny your mother drowned in her own blood? Mm-hmm. The candle flickers. Rain lashes against the window. Mate, she's got more red flags than a communist parade. You should be running as far and as fast as you can. Rain lashes against the windows. You listen until the soft patter of every drop echoes in your ears. Lilith's breaths mix with yours. Slowly she circles around and slips into the darkness. The woman watches you unblinking. She waits impatient for you to eat. I can't put up with this madness any longer. Yeah, I'm not eating a unicorn. Do you think you can defy fate? From the beginning we were destined to be one. Neither you nor anyone else can stop this. Never, never, never. I do like the artwork in this game too. Like it's a nice change to not have a game that uses the AI artwork for everything. One of the big problems with visual novels now is that they're all done via AI, and it has that kind of uncanny valley style, and that's why I like this game. Like the artwork's quite nice. It has like I wouldn't say comic book, like an old school storybook style feel. Standing up, your head spins. You steady yourself and move towards the door. Behind you, Lilith gasps. Just as your trembling hands reach the door, Lilith blocks your path. Eyes wide with madness, mouth agape, she clutches the knife she used to cut the meat. You instinctively tense up. Lilith, don't be ridiculous. Get out of my way. You've completely lost your mind. I haven't finished what I had to say, my love. Everything is ready for our souls to unite. We only have to die together. Do you realize what you're asking? This isn't love. Please come to your senses. I'm begging you. The candle's fading glow reflects off the dusty paintings on the walls. The paint on each seems wet and fresh, as if they're just painted. On the table, the bloody pork meat subtly writhes. You haven't finished your meal yet. I only came to understand you. Whatever you mention in your letter, that's why I'm here. I'm here to talk. You're part of me, my heart, my soul. Do you understand? You're mine, my love. I can't lose you again. On her maddened face, there's a terrifying grin, mingled with dread. Veins are bulge on her forehead. The whites of her widened eyes are bloodshot. Her grip tightens on the knife until her knuckles whiten. Stop. Lilith's crazed eyes bulge as if it's ready to burst from their sockets. Beneath her ragged clothes, her chest heaves violently with each breath. Then suddenly her skin splits apart, like parched earth around an ever-glowing whirlwind of distant island nation. Her cheeks, mouth, hair, your last shred of rational thought screams at you, run. Your feet recoil an archaic reflex and you stumble over one of the books scattered on the floor. For a brief moment, yellowed pages spill across the ground from the fallen book. You catch glimpses of your own drawings. a dining table, and a woman clutching a knife. But there's no time to focus. Struggling to your knees, you crawl deeper into the house. That's when you remember there's a passage leading from the basement to the cellar door outside. Let's go another exit. You rise, fleeing deeper into the house. The corridors feel familiar. I went to the cellar last time, so I'm trying something different. The corridors feel familiar, yet the dust rising with each panicked step is a new and unsettling sight. You frantically try each door without daring to take your eyes off the corridor you came sprinting through. Locked, all of them. The windows are sealed, shut with rusted, decaying iron bars. We can't be separated. There's nothing left, love, my love. There's no way out. I must try the basement door. Gripped by sudden terror, you seize the cellar's cold handle, expecting a hand to clutch your shoulder any moment, as footsteps grow louder down the corridor, but it never comes. As you push the door open, a wave of dampness and nauseating stench of things that should be long dead hits you in the face. Stepping through the doorway, you slam it shut. As you bolt the door behind you, an abysmal silence and darkness wrap around you. And I don't know what that means, because I don't speak Italian. I think it's Italian. Act 2. In the dark, you pause a moment. Your mind strains to grasp what is. Lilith, food, creation. The dusk and creak of boards mingle with your hurried breath. Beneath your feet, stairs descending. Where am I? When the basement door closed, you feel yourself pulled into the void. Now beneath your feet, wooden steps leading down. Could I find a way out through the basement? Once on the sunlit morning of the first sea card, you saw Yell descend these basement stairs. You followed after, finding her scratching in a hollow in the corner. When you drew near, you saw it was a hatch, opening outwards, old, broken, rusted hinges. When Lilith saw it, she grew fearful. Could I use this hatch? You could try. In the end, do you have another choice? Do I remember what it looked like? A hatch made of wood, round, wedged among the stones of the wall, plastered with mud. Well, we don't really have much choice, and we can go upstairs, but we know what's going to happen if we do. The wood steps groan beneath your tread. Their cries, like the house itself, are bitter shrieks. From the unseen depths rise a heavy moan, a stink of mould and damp. One step, another, you go down. You re-rise from the dark. As the basement stairs sink into an abysmal silence, your steps find solid ground. Old memories. You remember the rooms beneath the house you once shared with the Lilith. But, like everything else, this place feels unfamiliar. Her dread is still fresh, sharp, and ripe. Crystals growing beneath the stones on the wall cast a faint, pale light. When you lift your head, you see two doors standing tall in the wall ahead. I have to get out of here. At the end of this place, there must be a way. Let's examine the surroundings. As your eyes adjust to the crystal's pale glow, you survey the chamber. The stone walls drip with dampness cloaked in moss. When you listen closely, you hear the crash of waves hammering in the cliffside. Knowing a world still waits outside grants you a fleeting comfort. The wall to your right, two circles are carved, harsh lines slashed between them, refusing union. drawn with hateful strokes. Before the wall where the crystal is embedded, a rotting wooden table leans in decay. On it rests a broken frame, coated in dust. On the floor, a melted candle and a blood-stained shredded journal. Let's have a look at the candle and the journal. You step amongst the scattered parchments and torn books. Reaching for the journal fragment beside the candle, it crumbles in your grasp. You open it carefully. The bloody script is unmistakable. Lilith's hand. Most of it is unreadable, but the final pages you make sense of some hastily scrawled words. I'm shaping her. She will be complete at last. Is there no other way? No, it will be perfect. Will be complete. Together we'll be complete. With him. Let's have a look. See what we can find. Words are not enough. I need something deeper, more physical. Here in the basement of the house we once shared, I've hidden something of his. While he wanders around the house, he suffers his greatest regrets in the deepest place. Should I tell him she is not dead? The journal has been scratched, gouged, bloodied, as though Lilith needed to make her devotion visible. No matter how you try, there's little more to glean from the crumbling pages. You let the journal fall, the air grows heavier, your ears begin to ring. Despite the weight in your skull, you stagger to the table, lift the broken frame. Beneath the dust, there's a picture you once drew. The figure in the portrait has been furiously defaced, ringed with a mad scrawl. Bodies. We must be rid of the bodies. One of them, of everything, of all that fails to unite us. Even of you, my love. As you lean closer to study the picture, you hear the basement door at the far end creak open. Lilith's twisted, ragged breaths drift all the way to where you stand. I need to get out of here. You push aside the books, scattered parchment and broken wood with your foot and step close to the door. To the left is an iron door, rusted with the weight of years. Upon it is a symbol, old and long since stripped of meaning. The other door is heavy, made of damp wood. It creaks faintly as though breathing. Let's go with the... I think last time I did the wooden door, let's go the metal door. When you open the iron door, a sour stench of sweat and rot greets you. Fearing Lilith might be following you, slip inside and shut the door quietly behind you. You look around. Like the room before, this one too is shrouded in the eerie halo of blue light, cast by the crystal embedded in the wall. The air quivers with anticipation. And then a voice. Do you remember me? Look towards the source of the voice without responding. When you turn around, you see a young woman standing motionless in the corner of the room, her skin clinging tightly to bone. If not for her eyes, bright and piercing deeper into your soul, under the pale light, you might have mistaken her for a still silhouette of a statue. Then she tilts her head just slightly, and the moment you see it more carefully, there's something in the woman's eyes, something you once knew, something you once loved. Wait a bit, I know you. She made me, remade me, from start to finish. No, I didn't want this, Lilith. When she was talking about her creation, was she talking about you? You wish it was so. You want this madness to end, to see Lilith's strange game come to an end. But no, this isn't the creation Lilith spoke of. This is a personal experiment of hers. What she has in store for you is something very different. Don't say it. If you say her name, she'll come. The young woman, hearing Lilith's name, presses herself against the wall. She pulls her shoulders tight, inward, eyes fixed on the door, behind you as he speaks. I had to be good. I mean beautiful. Beautiful I had to be. Yes. When she pulls back, the crystal's light shows her more clearly. The scar begins beneath her neck, and runs forward past her ears, reaching up to her hair roots. The skin of her face is pulled taut, as if cut apart and stitched back together along those marks. The fingers she wraps around her arms are thin, long, as if filed down, extended and altered. The woman before you looks like someone who's been worked on endlessly, reshaped, piece by piece, since childhood. How could she do this? The young woman looks at you from where she crouched down by the wall. For the moment, the twisted smile on her face reminds you of Lilith. For you, to create you, and of course to love you. Are you her? Did Lilith steal your body and soul? I'll always still be yours to love. The young woman collapses on her knees as if she's used every last ounce of strength. Breathless, she turns her gaze to you. Was I good? Yes, you've been good. I've been good, yes. She said that, stood here. If you're good enough, he'll love you too. You'll love me, won't you? She tilts her head and looks at you. The sharp point of her chin casts an unsettling shadow. You're not the one I love. I shouldn't have let her do this to you. The thing you're staring into isn't Lilith. It's an empty shell, a twisted reflection stripped of free will, an uncanny amalgam where fragments of the young woman have been tangled with the essence she poured into it. In that moment, a crushing wave of pity floods your entire being. But you can't tell who it's for. The woman that you're looking at you with desperate hope, or Lilith, or yourself. The lady said she told, if you're good, he'll love you. I failed. I ain't good. It was never about it whether you were good or not. You were always enough. It's just the thing making you feel otherwise is wrong. You're saying this because of her. You try to reach deeper, not the poisonous persona Lilith has etched over decades, but the one she truly once was. The young woman looks at you with tearful eyes, then slowly searching for the words, she speaks. A long time ago, there was a white flowery place. There were waves. Wish. Her cloudy eyes turn to you, then catch the light slipping through the door. Yes, Mother, she would read to me, sometimes like this. She gestures as if writing something. A book? Yes. If I'm good one day, my mother might read me a book again. She leans her body against the wall, her hands hang limply at her sides. Her face fixes on you with a blank expression. But I think this time will never come, because you'll never love me. I need to get you out of here. She opens her eyes wide and collapses on the wall. Get out. No, it won't happen. My lady will find me. I can't go. I'm here. I'll stay here. I'll wait for you. You said you don't love me. Listen, we have to escape. Do you understand me? She's using you. Let's maybe try this. There's a beautiful world waiting for you outside. Waves. Huge towering waves. When they crash against the cliff, they'll send up sprays of white pearl-like foam. Books that tell incredible tales and stories. I'm here. I'll stay here, and I'll wait for you. You'll love me, she said so. We can escape, do you understand? I'll stay here. You'll come back. Well, I tried. She no longer hears you. Held up against the wall, hands over her ears, the hollow shell just rocks back and forth. The chains wrapped around her neck are drawn so tight, no force could ever free her. Let's see if we can help her. Moisture and moss cover the walls. In the left corner of the room lies a bed, its sheets stained with blood, urine and pus. Atop it sits a cloth doll. The floor is decayed, scored and battered, as though someone had dragged things, slammed them down. Against the wall rests a rusted metal table, its surface scattered with shards of broken mirrors. In front of it, a chair has collapsed, its legs bent. Brown stains coat it so thoroughly you can hardly guess what its original colour was. Is this ragdoll what to use the table for? I'll stay here, you'll come. Okay, she's not going to help. The broken mirror leaning against the wall is nearly ornate, carefully crafted edges, but the glass itself is shattered down the middle, as if someone tried to break through from the inside. In the corner beneath the table, dried blood-stained fingerprints remain. Whose fingerprints are these? The table has a metal surface, scratched, dented, and gouged repeatedly, but neither the marks nor the dried blood-stained fingerprints catch your attention. When you crouch beneath the table, you notice layers of deeply scratched words. If we're beautiful, we'll be loved. Each of the scratches is still damp. I'm going to see what the writing says. Carefully running your hand over one of the scratches, a drop of blood collects on your fingertip. The young woman hasn't written these a long time ago. Maybe she was here, writing these words just before you entered the room. The rag doll on the bed. Maybe it could be important. The doll is in shambles, stained with black blotches, its eyes long since gouged out. One arm dangles loose, its fabric looks like it's been torn open and stitched back together again and again, in different places. The padding that once gave the head shape has been removed. Patches of mismatched cloth are sewn haphazardly across its body. Lying lifeless on the bed, the rag doll is a reflection, a crude replica of the woman murmuring to herself by the wall. Maybe it's better if this stays with you. Yeah, I don't think we can do much to help her, unfortunately. Her eyes turn to you for a brief moment as her trembling hands take the doll. Her murmuring stops. You can feel she wants to thank you. It seems she's forgotten how to say these words a long time ago. Smile and nod. You turn your gaze to the room. On the far wall, two doors catch your eye. Like moss-covered walls, they too bear an eerie shade of green. Lilith's hatred is soaked into every corner. I think I've seen everything there is to see. One looks old at first glance. Its wood is dark brown, fading to grey in places, cracked and mildewed with time. There's no visible handle, only a notch in the frame. The other is new, but not the honest kind of new. It's more like something rotten that's been polished and presented as good as new. Its wood is pale, grainless, unnatural. A silver knob sits squarely in its centre. Okay, I don't know what I should do, but I'm going to go with the old door. You slip your hand into the gap and push. The surface isn't warm, but not exactly cold either. Stagnant. It reminds you of a moment a body begins to cool, the remnants of a life lived, then abandoned. Your fingertips catch lightly on the splinters of the wood. As a child, you used to run your hand over boxes like this while hiding beneath your mother's alchemy table. A life long before your mother's death, and long before you took responsibility for it. Long before. At first glance, it seems a cold and empty room. On the damp walls, the light seeping through the half-open door glimmers like scattered pearls. The dust woken from its endless sleep whirls frantically around you. Then you see them, paintings and canvases thrown around the corners, torn, ripped, shattered. A great hatred has turned every one of them into a wreckage of a massacre. The room opens into a corridor without a door. These paintings belong to Lilith. Don't you recognize them? Your own brushstrokes, your hand, your colours. Faces yellowed, scraped away, left unrecognizable. Every one of them born of you. Near the doorway, caught in the light, you lift a portrait from the floor. A woman's face clawed away and finally torn. At her neck hung the necklace of coloured stones you once bought Lilith from Cardia. Cardia, where is that? A place where you were born, to the east of Gaia. A womb where the winds first opened their eyes to life. An island nation with the whirlwind Hulaka breathing at its very core. A land etched into your memory with vast steppes and lively markets. Once you were one of the nobles there. In fact, you were cherished even more because your rare golden hair reminded them of your ancestors, the Neurons. Why am I here in Livber? Your mother had to continue her alchemy work here. Some of the stones she sought required being transported in some peculiar ways. In ways no one knew. That's why you left your noble life behind and came to this dark and lawless place. Maybe I shouldn't have come here. Too little, too late. You can't mourn the life that ended on the last night you spent with Lilith. The night Lilith prepared the black alchemy ritual she believed would merge your souls. She'd been telling you for days the time was near, and one evening you came here, to the house where you lived with her for months. She pulled you into the center of a circle and spoke to you. When our souls are joined together, we'll be inseparable. You'll never feel alone and I'll never fade away, my love. In her unblinking gaze burned a unshakable madness. There as you stood there speechless, watching her, she showed a bowl. It was in that moment for the first time you felt it. You saw that Lilith had surrendered herself irreversibly to the darkness. She insisted on refusing to understand it. The grand unification was a lie. There is no ritual that can join our souls. A voice echoes in your mind, Lilith's voice. Why don't you believe, my love? What does the thought of us reuniting beyond death frighten you so? The Never-All will gather all of us into its embrace, you, me, even the gods. But I will take you into myself. We could have been together in this life, but your madness tore us apart. What tore us apart was your cowardice, my love. You were afraid to love me. Well, yeah, she has a very, very twisted definition of love. This guy needs to run like he's trying to avoid catching a case. Which, I mean, he might catch a case if he stays in this house long enough. I don't know what else I could have done. You could have loved me. That's all I ever wanted from you. Without running, without fear. That way I showed you my love. But then I think I understand now. We can't do it. At least not in this existence. What do you mean? I'll tear out the part of you I know loves me. I'll do for you what you couldn't. What you didn't dare do. I'll do it. One of the paintings behind you falls to the floor. You startle in fear. Turning around, you see it stands in the gap alone. From the gouged portions of the canvas, something is seeping out. What's this? Put the painting down. Going any further will only hurt you. I don't know whether I should be touching the fluid, but yeah. Leaving everything behind feels like the only right choice. Lilith's madness has seeped into every corner of the room. You move slowly towards the door at the end of the corridor. Blood roars in your ears as you push the slightly open door. This must be where you'll find the cellar hatch. The door opens without resistance. Inside it's a little brighter. Metal tables are scattered across the room, each layered with dried blood. On the floor, small pools of urine and pus mingle with damp stone, releasing an unbearable stench. Oh, somehow ended up in California. In the midst of it, all hang bodies and chains from the ceiling. Rotten, hollowed out, left on hooks to be forgotten. Who dares disturb my century-long slumber? The voice sounds as if it's scraping its way out of a throat that shouldn't be alive. Who are you? I'm over here. Come closer. I don't bite. Well, I'm kidding. Of course I bite, but right now that's not really an option. I'm a bit tied up, you see. The thing before you is a body, without its lower half. Another of Lilith's experiments. Its arms are chained to the ceiling, a hook driven through the shoulders. Its head lolling onto its left shoulder watches you with curiosity. It doesn't take long to notice that one of its eye sockets is empty. What happened to you? It's a long story. I can tell you though. Come pull up a chair. Let's look around. You glance around the dim light. Against the far wall, a corpse rests with its head slumped against a blood-smeared surface. Each time a faint breeze, which source is unknown, passes through, the body sways ever so slightly, its head dragging softly against the wall. All around you, other bodies hang from meat hooks, swaying slowly, one by one. But there's no chair, none at all. I love the atmosphere of this game, and the artwork too. Like and I know some people may not like the art style, but honestly, I would prefer this 100% of the time to AI art. I feel like this is becoming more and more of a rare thing. And it seems that in the last 12 months especially, every single visual novel I read is AI generated. So yeah, big props to the developer. This might be the last of a dying breed, this game. There's no chair, don't bother looking, I was testing you. The dead one, who is it? I don't know, it might be you actually. It was here before I arrived, and it'll be still here after I'm gone. Another of Lilith's little experiments, when she was trying to recreate you. They say his own indecision is what killed him. Maybe this time will be different, Golden Boy. What do you think? How do you know all this? Now that's the right question, I'm glad you asked, because the truth is I haven't seen myself in a while. I don't know what I've become, but something's missing. And definitely she's been trying to fill the void with something else. Were you someone else, or did she create you? Now that's another good question. I've been asking myself the same thing every night for the last 3 years. I was someone once, yeah, but I didn't last long, because the last time someone opened their eyes, Lilith was staring at them, and then bam. From then on, I was forced to choose between being someone or looking like someone. It feels familiar. The only difference is my choices have always been made by others. Here we go again, the fate monologue, right? Everyone else made the choices for you, and what did you do? Just watch, stay silent. Were you just a poor little leaf, tossed around in the stream of creation? Open your eyes. I'd love to stay here and talk about my choices really, but I've got to get out of here. So Lilith and her creations really didn't hold your interest, huh? Fair enough. If this room is what you seek to pass, then answer me riddles first. No need for class. No riddles. The cellar is not here, Golden Boy, it's that way. As his left hand shifts, the chains clink and rattle against each other. Mind the doors, they have a reputation for taking you where you don't want to go. What do you mean? Do you still think you'll find the cellar door, Golden Boy? You still don't get it, do you? This place is the bottom of the pit you've sunk into. Even if you haven't seen it yet, you're falling fast. And let me tell you, when you finally hit the bottom, it's going to hurt like hell. Maybe I had to see the bottom. I meant to break on the stones. Let's not fall into depression yet. Let's see, I think it was after you believed your mother had died, before your father blamed you and let his last breath fade into the ocean. Long after you sent Lilith to her death and still tried to live on. Way after that. I may regret this, but I'll approach. Hold out your palm, a little more. As you stand in front of the corpse, the stench becomes unbearable. Inside his empty eye socket, you catch a faint glimmer, Something shimmering. Then the body starts to retch and convulse. He grips the chains tightly as something thick rises in his throat. A dark reddish fluid oozes from his mouth, and he vomits something into your outstretched hand. A mouthful of thick, warm bile fills your open palm, but within that heavy heat, there's something there. You got a memory stone, apparently. Here you go, golden boy. I'm pretty sure this belongs to you. A crystal, unformed, still translucent. Something you once said when you truly believed you loved Lilith. A memory, your greatest joy and your greatest lie. That feeling still clung to Lilith. She took it, turned it into a ritual, shaped it and made it something else. What memory is this? You watch as the corpse's breath slows. The sunken eye in its skull begins to dim, fading softly. A faint, genuine smile forms across its face. It can no longer speak. As you wipe your hand clean, the round, translucent crystal is revealed. Veins pulse across its surface with a blue energy, throbbing like a living tissue. Inside the orb, a vision takes shape. You feel Lilith's body pressed against yours, the softness of her lips pressing into you, her fingers threading through your hair, her breath hot and intimate against your neck. Your body trembles, you're biting, tearing, devouring each other, consuming until nothing remains between you. And in that moment you're whole, truly complete. Your bodies dissolve into each other and you touch the essence at the core of Lilith's being. Then with your lips pressed to hers you begin to speak. I love you forever. There you go. The crystal shatters in your hand, a sharp flash and thousands of tiny fragments scatter across the room. The corpse before you slips free from its chains, crashing into the pool of petted pus-laced water below. The prose in this book is very descriptive, disgustingly so, but it works really well for the story. One last effort, he turns his face towards you. I said the things you couldn't. Now the words are yours, golden boy. Break free from your chains, unlock them. We'll meet again very soon. We'll give him some closure. The corpse doesn't respond to your touch. In its stillness, it almost looks like it's fallen into a peaceful, restful sleep. As you return to searching the room, you feel something settle over you, a sense of expectation. The lifeless bodies strewn across the chamber are watching you. On the wall to your right, you see two distinct doors once again. The first door is sealed with rusted chains. The chains aren't locked together, they merely hang there. The other door stands slightly ajar. Beyond it, nothing but darkness. I kind of feel like the door on the right's a trap. Let's try the chain door. The chains draped over the door aren't tightly bound together. They simply hang there, heavy and loose, as if they once tried with all their strength to seal something shut and failed. From beneath the door, a faint cold breeze flows out, carrying a soft, flickering glow. Let's open the chain door. You open the door and step inside. Your foot is met with a smooth surface without any texture. No stone, no dust, not even an echo. Silence, a cold whiteness. The room is bright, far too bright. The light overwhelms your eyes. There's nothing left that could remain in shadow. This room, why is it so bright? Where is the light coming from? That doesn't matter. Your gaze fixes on the white door standing directly before you. Ordinary, with nothing remarkable about it, it simply waits for you to open it and step through. There's something fishy about this place. I have a strange feeling inside, like I wasn't meant to be here. You're not exactly wrong. That's why we should get out of here as soon as possible. Why? Why are you so anxious? Because you weren't supposed to be here. The story is meant to go on like this. Here, there's nothing. There's nothing to be told here. No plot to make the story interesting. It might be a fourth wall break. Uh, Not the slightest speck to describe. This place is utterly empty. Maybe in this silence I can rest a little. We don't have much time to lose. This isn't a place for you to rest. Right now you're lingering inside a void that shouldn't exist. And you know what happens to a character who waits in a void they shouldn't be? They become a character who shouldn't exist. You have to move. Is that why you're anxious? No, we weren't supposed to be here. There's nothing to carry the story forward. And if there's nothing to be told, then you lose all meaning too. I'm the one keeping you alive in this burnt out, ruined, piss-stinking house, the one stopping you from curling up like a fetus in your madness. Now do as I say and open the door. I think I won't do that. You think you're clever, don't you? I'm the master of this story, and I have to get us out of here. You see the room beginning to shrink, the walls stretch in unnatural ways. The wall before you seems to be closing in. I won't be the victim of this story. For once I will decide for myself. I will not open that door. Oh. Oh, do we... That was a wrong choice, apparently. You want to stay in the whiteness to stop, to rest, to remain. This never happened. Perhaps I didn't create this room. I created this whole illusion for you. And if you no longer wish to take part in it, farewell, leading man. I hope you enjoyed the story I narrated for you. When I came to against the wall, the pain in my skull was unbearable. Must have been another foul dream. Sit up and have a look around. Water trickles from the ceiling again. Moonlight. Must be midnight or thereabouts. The house is collapsing. 5 years, dust and decay. I'm hungry. Is there anything to eat? I pass the toppled chains around the dining table. Plates rest upon it, white porcelain, now laid only with dust fallen from the beams above. What was that sound? Lilith? Let's go to the kitchen. The kitchen's empty. Cockroaches scatter across the counter. Am I hungry? Not truly. What was desire meant to feel like? There's nothing here. I killed Lilith. Is this real? Is Lilith real? She was always real, the most real of all things, but her love, no, that was madness. That day I knew she would speak again of the grand unification. Let's not, I don't know. Living room or upstairs? Let's go to the living room. The same board groans again, beneath the weight of my guilt. The windows lie shattered. Was it I who broke them? The doors have fallen, one leg of the dining table buckles, ready to give. In the delirium of her love, I knew I would die. I was afraid. I fled. I knew she would never let me go. Oh, you tool. He's going back to the basement. Boards creak every... Mate, front door. Run. Get out of here. I guess I can only go to the basement. Yep. The stairs have long since crumbled. She told me herself this is where they carried her out. They took her, so then they cut off her limbs so she would never walk again. I can't go upstairs? No, guess not. A blue light. Where could it be coming from? The basement, with one room, damp stones covered in moss. She had a circle here. She had stood at the centre. When they took her, they flayed her face, so no one would ever recognize her again. My love? Where are you? The blue light shimmers over your wet clothes. The salty water of the sea drips down from where you were thrown. Your hands are severed. Coagulated blood pools at your feet. The flayed pieces of your face hang, oozing pus. Your lidless eyes stare at me. I'm sorry. My voice echoes off the stone. Her arms hang limply at her sides, motionless. There's rage in her eyes. She doesn't answer, not sure she hears me from the slit in her face. Shaped like a mouth, black fluid drips out. It spills to the floor. All your memories will slowly melt away like tears in the rain. Well, that's the end. And I actually got ending one. So there's 8 endings in this game. I'm not given how long the game is. I'm not going to go and start another run. But I actually really enjoyed this. The last time I played it, I actually got the bad ending where I actually went and sided with Lilith and took part in the ritual. I really like the, even though the game is very short, um, and an average run will only take you an hour to an hour and a half. There's 8 different runs of the game, so you've got around 8 to 10 hours of content in this game. The main reason why I like it is the art style. Like I said several times when I was playing this, the more I look at visual novels nowadays, they've got this artificial AI feel for all of the artwork, and it just seems to be that all visual novels now are just all AI driven. And I'm not particularly against AI. I don't mind it in games, but it's kind of got to the point where it's shaped the face of certain genres. And when I see visual novels nowadays, and I see a visual novel that is completely AI generated or a large part AI generated, it makes me a bit hesitant because it doesn't feel, it doesn't have that personal touch. And I think this game is kind of, it was released right before the change in visual novels, and it's more it was right before they decided to change the visual novel style to AI. And even though the artwork may not be as clean and flawless as AI, I would take a game like this over an AI generated game any day of the week because it has heart, it has passion, and it's a really fun game. And I guess again, I have to say to the developer, I'm sorry I missed this one. It was very more fool I that I didn't cover this earlier on the channel. So I don't know if I'll see this, but I really do appreciate you sending me a copy of this game, and I am having a look at some of your other titles. So hopefully, who knows, I might look at some of their games in the future. We'll see. But yeah, if you're a fan of visual novels, if you're a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, then I absolutely recommend you go and give this one a try. My voice is starting to, an hour of reading, it's starting to crack, so it's probably a good time to give this one a rest. Um, yeah, visual novels aren't super popular amongst my audience, but given how many people watching tonight, that might be starting to change. So if you like this stuff, join the channel because I do have a bunch of other visual novels I'm planning on covering. We've got some coming up in the coming weeks. So yeah, if you like this, stick around. We're gonna have more. But I do have some other games tonight. I want to check them out. So we're going to move on to the next game.